Hey, hello there. Welcome to a very first tutorial type thingy. As you may have noticed, we've recently hit my only goal on Patreon. Thanks to some very generous donators. So, what I'm going to be doing today is basically I recently got a new graphics card. So what I want to do is upgrade my videos to 60 FPS. So I'm gonna be reanimating my little characters here in 60 FPS. So I thought, why not show you how I do it while I do that. So as you can see, we're in Photoshop right now. Here's my character, the standard talking pose. And if you look at the layers over here, we have each part of the character on a separate layer. I'm using Photoshop, and I'm also going to be using After Effects because they both work well together. But you don't need Photoshop for this. All you need to do is have all the separate pieces on, like, saved as separate PNGs. I just keep a bit of Photoshop document because it's easier to, because it works. Whatever. So let's get up After Effects here. And I'm going to create a new composition from the thing that was open there. Now this is very important. It has to be set to composition, retain layer sizes. And, well, you don't have to do that. You don't have to retain the layer sizes if you don't want to, but I want to, so I'm gonna do that. And it has to be editable layer styles, because if you click this, it's just gonna make it into one picture. And that defeats the whole purpose of splitting it up into different sections. Okay. So it ships in After Effects right now. And I'm gonna double click on it so that we get up all the separate layers. Now we gotta connect them all up together again. And we do that with this little thingamajig here. So here's the right ear, and I'm going to use this to connect it up to the face. So now it's connected to the face. As you can see, when I move the face around, so does the ear. That's basically what that is. Also, this part isn't necessary for the ears, but I also press Y on the keyboard to bring up this thing, and I can move this little dot around. This is the anchor point, so when I rotate it, it focuses around where this little arrow thingy is. So I usually stick it on the head there. But I tend not to rotate the ears anyway, so I'm gonna do that for like the head, but sometimes I do it for the ears too, just in case, but I never really do that. Anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect everything up to where it's supposed to go. So everything is pretty much connected. Everything on the face is connected to the face. Like so. Oops, that's the wrong layer. So now everything is connected. Neato. And the face needs to be connected to the neck, because that's where faces are usually connected. Neck is connected to the body. Right arm connected to the body too, tail connected to the body, and left arm connected to the body. Let me just change those anchor points around. There we go. Okay, so now we can actually start animating. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is remove the mouth, because we don't need that anymore, because I recently started doing lip sync, which I add later on. and I think I'll do that in a different video. I don't want this one to get too long. Anyway, so for this pose I usually like to do a basic rotation of the head. So I pulled out this little drop barrel, transform, rotation. Oh, another thing I forgot is to change the time to 10 seconds. Each pose is about 10 seconds long. I also forgot to check that it's in 60 FPS, which it is. Nice. And duration needs to be 10, please. Thank you. Okay. So, time watch for, hey, I want to animate this. Now I'll move along a little bit. And I'm gonna do like a gentle bob forward and then a bob backward. So it's like a you know, I don't know. So that looks pretty freaking stiff. So I'm gonna show you the most amazing thing about After Effects is easy ease. So I'm gonna do out, normal, and in. So this is gonna ease out. So it's basically like slow at the beginning, and then it's like whoosh. This one eases in, so it gets slower when it comes to this point. I'm bad at explaining things. So as you can see, it's much more smooth now. If I just where's the history? Anyway, if I just undo all that, stiff, oh heck, smooth. But I think I want this one to last a little bit longer, so I'm gonna do that. Oops. There we go, that's nice. So now, the head's moving nicely, but all of the stuff on the head is still stiff as a brick. So I like to animate those individually. So let's start with the right ear. Now, here's my second, well, I like this feature more than the Easy Ease, but Easy Ease comes in at a close second. I like the puppet tool is my freaking favorite thing about After Effects. So you quite literally stick pins into the part of the image, and you see when I move this one around, the other ones stay there, and that looks quite funky. I think I need another one here. Yeah, or not. This is fine. So when you move one around, the other two stay there, and it's pretty nice. So we can use this to create a kind of more natural animation than if I would just rotate it regularly. So it's really good for like ears and hair and stuff. I keep the face with the normal. I don't use the puppet tool for to move the face because, you know, faces are like stiff. But things like ears and hair are very flowy. And they're going to flow in the wind when the head moves. Maybe not the wind, but, you know, when the head moves. So when the head moves forward, the ear is going to move forward too. As you can see. It's very quick, but you can see it. And then when the head moves back, the ear is also going to move back. As you can see. I think that's a little bit too much, so I'm gonna click on my layer, press the U on the keyboard. That brings up all of the keyframes. So you don't have to keep pressing all of these things and being like, eh, where's my keyframes? You can just press U and all the other crap goes away. Nice. Okay. I'm going to delete this and do a new one. That's a bit less, I don't know, extreme. And then I'm gonna add some ease to make it nice and smooth. But it's still a little bit stiff. So when the head moves back and the ear kind of catches up, if that makes sense. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, there's like a gentle little return. So now the ear looks super flowy and bouncy as the head moves. What I'm going to do is start the animation a little bit later than the head. So kind of gives the effect that the ear is a little bit lightweight, so it kind of like the head movement pulls it along. That's kind of what I'm going for with all the like forward, back, forward, you know, kind of animation. So then all that's left to do is go to the end and take the first keyframe and take it to the end. So basically, throughout the rest of the animation, the ear will slowly go back to its original position, so that when I press play again, it's gonna loop back. Now, I forgot to do it with the head. So, yeah. There we go. Oops, that's not in the right place. Okay. So now, as you can see, it loops back to normal. I like to do that just so there's still some subtle movement. I think if I like leave it still and then like take it back towards the end, I don't know if that makes sense. But I feel like that makes it look a lot more natural, basically. And I like it rather than it just staying stiff. Okay, so that's basically it. I just do that for the rest of the parts of the body, except for like the body and the scarf. I usually leave those alone. I'll just do another one on the eyes right now. Also, the reason this looks quite blurry is because I have the preview window. This is basically like the quality that the preview is gonna be. So full is like obviously normal, and then you have like half quality, third quality, quarter quality. I usually keep it like on the third or half just so my computer can handle it. And it makes rendering times a lot less, I don't know, bad. As you can see, there's a bit of lag there. I don't know if you can see that. Now there isn't because it rendered. But there's the lag. But when you keep it low, it's usually nice and smooth, so it's... Of course it's not smooth now. Okay, there you go. Now it's smooth. So it's like a bit easier to animate, so you don't have to keep rendering it. It's just frickin', you know, do the deal. So I'll do one more animation on camera. What I want to do is the eyes. So the eyes are split into 3 different layers. 4 different layers, actually. Let me explain. So on the first layer, we've got the big circles which define where the eyes go. Second is the eyelids, these things can go up and down and all around. It looks kind of weird. Then we have the pupils, so that I can look around. And finally the eye whites, the white sections of the eye. And this is built up in this way. Basically, because I want the pupils and the eyelids to be able to move within this space without crossing into the face. That rhyme was unintentional. But anyway. So on this layer, it's a bit hard to tell, but let me just... Here you can see, on this layer, there's like these parts of white around the eye. This basically blocks the layers underneath, which is the eyelids and the pupils, from going into the face area. They stay underneath this. If I go too far this way, you'll be able to see it on the face, but I'm not gonna go that far. So don't worry about that. And the eye whites need to be behind the face so that they don't... It basically creates like an enclosed circle here. It's a bit hard to explain. I'm bad at explaining. But yeah. So I want to animate the eyelids a little bit. I didn't animate them in the original pose, but in this one I want to do it because I think it'll look cool. So I'm going to do position this time. As the head goes down, I want them to close a little bit, and then when the head goes out, I want them to raise a little bit. Maybe about this much. Yeah. And let's ease them so that they are nice and smooth. Like so. I think I want this to last a bit shorter. There we go. So yeah, it happens all inside the eyes. So there's no clipping and such. So that's basically it. I'm going to now animate the rest of the body parts, and I will join you at the end when we see what it looks like.